So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, mid-August. Let me warn you guys, this kind of action sucks. Like, it really sucks. Let me show you what I mean. The charts. Let's go back to Friday, shall we? Friday overnight had a pretty good move down and recovery, and then basically inside day. It actually sold off at the end of the day, which has been happening quite a bit lately. Happened, like what? Thursday? Oh, Wednesday. Happened. No, that was Tuesday. It happened a couple of places in here, but mostly inside day. And now look, in the overnight session, Sunday night, Monday, nothing. Nada. Super inside. That's it. That's all there is. Why? Why might you ask? Well, everybody's usually on vacation now. Of course, probably not a lot of people are actually going to go on vacation now because of the coronavirus. But you got to realize, like for me, school starts, well, not for me, but for my kids, school starts like next week. Okay. So this is the week when majority of people go on vacation. And next week is usually really dead too. And not only that, but we just don't have a whole lot of news. Let's come in here and look at what we've got on the docket for this week. Forex Factory. Switch it to the week. Sure, I've got everything set. Yeah. Okay. So today we got the Empire State Manufacturing Index and building permits, housing starts. Oh, we do get the FOMC meeting minutes on Wednesday. That is important. And we do get some PMIs, but basically, like all second level data, it's not a lot of fundamental drivers, and so that's why you're seeing the markets just really, really slow, not moving a whole lot. Now, hold on, I'm just listening to I guess Donald Trump is on Fox News talking right now, so the news squawk is telling me what he's saying about that. I guess he's talking about Huawei. Kevin, I have a question regarding copper. You said you were watching it. There is always a pretty high volume during 8 CT, Central Time. Also, NGCL, often the highest of the day. I just don't know why. Open is supposed to be 7:10, 10 minutes before bonds and gold. It's at 8. So like 30 minutes before the equities opens? I really don't know. I don't know. That's where it's like that's got to be one of the edges that you'd know if you watch that instrument a lot, huh? So let's come in and look at the other charts. Let's see here. Oil's still in its range. Gold edging higher a little bit, but not very much. We come over here to this chart. Looks like the dollar kind of bouncing around the 93 area. Dollar still looking really weak. Copper recovering. Okay. So this is where I was saying like why I want to pay attention to it, because this move right here was like, woo, that's bad, but it's recovered it. So if they can make a new high, then maybe this rally can continue. But if copper turns down and starts to go into a downtrend, then that would be a really good signal that the global growth, the global growth is slowing down, and we might want to be careful. It's just kind of, let's watch the whole complexes, all the complexes. Which another thing we should keep an eye on is the spread, right? 2 and 10 year spread flattening just slightly, but nothing too big. It's steepened a lot last week, so ZB. They're all flattening a little bit. Or sorry, isn't that's flattening. This is maybe just a little bit of steep. Like the 5 minute candle and check volume. I want to understand why. Yeah, well, we're gonna need to look into that. I will look into that. Um, it might be, well, one thing may just be traders getting ready for the equity indexes to open. Could just be that. Well, we can check. We should ask in the metals channel. That's probably where you saw that, huh? Yeah. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, everything's set up here. So it's interesting that even though Donald Trump is speaking right now, that the market is still awfully tight. Um, so I've got to be really intentional here. On Friday, I took experimental trades. I'm gonna make sure I have this pointing out, saying to myself if this was an experimental trade or not for stat keeping purpose. Basically, if it's experimental, what that means is um, I don't really think that it's a good trade. I'm just bored. That's that's what it really means. Anyways, what's going on here? Platform and brokers. Luke was saying Jigsaw Ninja is not as slick as Jigsaw. Specifically, their footprint charts was hoping to get access to Jigsaw ones. Well, I mean, we don't have those yet, so we'll see what they look like when we get them. He's right though. So there's this issue where if you're using like NinjaTrader brokerage, I think you basically have to go through the bridge, and that's a problem. Okay, so we're gonna have some news coming out here. Empire State Manufacturing Index looking for a reading of 15. Ooh, and we got a reading of 3.7, lower than the forecast. Um, nothing really moving, but I don't know. Hmm. Numbers bad, but no movement. Oh, I wasn't reading them. Hmm. I don't know, but it's not the pit open, is it? But it could be a related market still, right? Let's look at the CME schedule. 710. Yeah, where's that? There's like a CME thing that's like the schedule trading hours. There we are. Open outcry. Okay, so if we come over here to metals, open outcry. Although none of these have open outcry. Of course not. Oh, you use this one, yeah. maybe that always used to be the case and they got rid of that bit or something because it's not listed on the CME website's one. But we got. So we're talking about 7:10 Central Time, which was about 20 minutes ago, right? I don't know. That's really interesting. Interest rates would come in here, and then it's like, okay. Well, it starts at 7:10 though. I mean, I think the interest rate futures are and equity indexes are like, oh, maybe not even the equity indexes. Oh, okay, yes, they are. Equity indexes do have open outcry. Oh, and agriculture has open outcries. Okay. But those all start at 8:30. Oh, that's interesting. Some of those are a lot later in the day, though. Nothing on energy. Yeah. FX. FX could certainly do it, but those all start when the interest rates do. Metals don't have any open outcries. Real estates. There's Case-Shiller futures. Yeah. So it's not related to any of that. Maybe it could be something like I would suspect that it would be a currency related thing maybe. Especially if it was copper, because copper is very much related to China growth, right? So it could just be that sort of a thing. This microphone seems crooked to me. I don't know. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I think I'm just being silly. I'm just being silly. Yep, I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to ask other people. U.S. Interior Secretary to approve oil drilling in Alaska's Arctic refuge. Wall Street Journal article. Read here. Oh, the Democrats are going to be so upset. They will be so very, very upset. Okay, equities taking a jump there. I don't know if it was related to that news, but they definitely ticked up a bit. Yeah, no, it seems nobody trades stock copper. I think we would need to ask on the forum, huh? Maybe, well, I mean, we can try on Futures.io. Let's try Futures.io and search there. Do we have a metals forum over there? Let's see here. No, just commodities. In 23 minutes. What's in 23? Oh, you mean at the top of the hour? Wait, didn't it already happen? Trading copper. Copper analysis thread. Use the dollar as a correlated market. Oh, okay. It's at 8 Central Time. Oh, well, wait. So let's go back over to here because weren't we seeing. Okay. Oh, that's interesting that the weather ones are all open out, right? Okay. So Case Schiller HPI options opened at 8 o'clock. Donald Trump says that China is keeping their word on purchases. Oh, these numbers are all in my time, aren't they? Oh, no, 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 wait. They're their time. Okay. So we're looking for 8. I thought I was looking at equity indexes. They're not interest rates. Feeder cattle options start at 8. Lean hogs start at 8. Live cattle starts at 8. Hmm. See, here's copper. They have options for copper, but not a pit. Airport, blah, 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 blah. Certainly nothing there in the trading hours about it. Equities extending their gains there. Oh, what the heck? Wait. Then my. Oh, dear. That chart, it's all. My stuff is gone. Should I restart? I guess I'll restart it. Ninja. It's like when my charts just get a little too complicated, that starts to have issues with it. I just need to go and like rebuild all my workspaces or something. I don't know. But these sorts of things where I've got like all of these different data series on it and everything like that seems to just not like it. Hmm. Yeah, I really can't figure out why it is. Maybe there is some sort of a report that gets released at that time every day. Oh boy. Hey, Celine. So, Tommy, um, first of all, it's a new name, so welcome. I have a question for you. Why are you telling us that? There must be a report of some kind. That would make a lot of sense. That maybe there's like a daily inventory report of some sort that gets released at that time. Yeah, I don't know. But to the question, why would you tell us that? Gold and silver are king, up 35%. Okay, that's true. Why did you choose to say that first thing? Hmm. China says U.S. trade talk delay likely due to a lack of atmosphere. Wait, what? Oh wait, the Global Times has a thing. Oh, I see. They're saying that their countries were both doing things and that the feeling just wasn't very good. So that's bad, right? So China is saying you were too mean, so we're not going to do the meeting. There must be a report, but it's going to be really hard to find because there's not a lot of retail traders out there trading copper. Hey, but you know what? That means maybe there's opportunity. We want to become experts on copper. Hey, you know what? Could go and work for the copper mine over here. Learn some stuff. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Tradeservice.com. Copper pricing. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay. So, there's a bunch of different, there's copper markets around the world. Right. Um, there's other exchanges that trade it, right? There's the London Metal Exchange, the LME. Hmm. Okay, so we have to convert, um, 8 Central Time to London time. You cannot. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Should always just ask. Okay, 8 a.m. What? You want just show me? Oh, okay. We do it this way. That's 2 p.m. London time. It's 2 London time. 1400 London time. Oh. So, S I mean, are you just talking about the text to speech that's talking to me? Yeah. Well, we're trading futures. I'm not making any plays right now because the market is really, really tight and we're researching something. Yeah. So anytime that somebody says something to me here in YouTube chat, it will send me a message. It'll read it out to me. That way I don't have to always keep coming over here to read things. I can keep my eye on where I need to be. Um It kind of looks like there is significant stuff going on around 1400. So I don't actively trade gold, but we definitely watch it. So the thing with gold is it's a very illiquid market, and I'm not really a huge fan of uh like here at the Nasdaq, there's only like 2 or 3 contracts for every level up there to trade against. I don't really like that. I much prefer a market like the treasuries where there's thousands of orders at every price to deal with. ZW. What's ZW? hmm So the gold contract is GC. Oh, wheat futures. I haven't looked at. Yeah, I don't trade agriculture. I primarily trade treasuries and equity indexes. Primarily treasuries, though. So I primarily use Jigsaw Day Trader. I'm using Ninja Trader 8 for charts, and I pipe the data through there. hmm Yep, exactly. Primarily, so what I've got here on the screen, this one on the very far right is 5 year, 10 year, 30 year, S&P 500 futures, and then this tiny one here on the left is the Nasdaq futures. Maybe we change that, start looking at something different over there, but yeah. Anyways, to Pierre's question. So I use Jigsaw through the Ninja Trader 8 bridge, and I have a video called what is the best futures trading software platform, where I explain what I use and why. Also, in that video and in the Discord, there is I've never heard of that. There's also an affiliate code, so if you end up buying Jigsaw, you can use the affiliate code and it will help the channel out. I think it's the best DOM. It doesn't mean that there aren't other DOMs out there that are adequate. I think that Sierra Charts has an adequate DOM for the most part. Trading Technologies has a pretty good one. But Jigsaw is really stands out as an effective DOM. So have that. If you get it, you can. We have an affiliate link, but I also want to make sure that you understand I have an affiliate link for it, so that you can judge that when you take into consideration what I say about it, right? Okay, so down tick there in the 10-year. So we're moving higher in the treasuries. For no real significant reason. I'm wondering. No, I'm using CQG right now. I think I'm going to switch back though. I went over to CQG because I wanted the equity indexes like the tick and so forth. I haven't found those to be incredibly critical to my trading. So, yeah, they do. I would really like to use MBO, but I don't want to go through Bookmap. They got this thing where you can like detect stop orders. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. First, I have to add it in here. Let's see here. It's HG, right? Copper futures. Copper futures. The futures for copper. HG. Let's do it. Sometimes. I know that's like a super evasive answer, right? The way that I think of it, I've been doing really well recently. Yeah. I've been doing really well recently, but I don't like this idea that like you trade and you become a successful trader and then forever after that you're successful. Because one of the things that happens is people will trade off of some sort of fundamental catalyst. Off of some sort of technical signal. And that technical signal will work really, really well in that market. And they think that they're profitable. And then all of a sudden it stops working, and that's happened to me many, many times. So that's why, primarily I would say I've been doing this for like 3 years. I've had like really, really good periods and I've had really, really bad periods. Right now I'm doing really, really well. And we've made some changes that seem to be very, very effective. And we're definitely narrowing in on how we want to trade and getting a setup that I think we can be very successful with long term. But I don't think that I will ever say, "Oh, I am a profitable trader," just because I think that the whole idea of that is misleading, right? So, of course, I understand that it comes down to like, well, how do you know you listen to somebody about something or not? And so here's the thing that I will tell you. I try to focus on things here on this channel when I'm talking to you guys that is either what is going on right now or things that we know are facts for sure, right? So I don't like to go in and say like, oh, well, you don't want to take the first bounce off of the thing and then you want to do all of this technical stuff, price action stuff. I mean, we'll talk about it, but that is really not the focus because that is all opinion and its changes, Whereas what time does the open outcry pit start. This is information that's important, but a lot of retail traders don't listen to. They don't pay attention to these things, and these are like the most important things that you want to know. Or what news is going on out there? What's happening today? What are the fundamental catalysts that are moving the instruments today that we know for a fact happened? Donald Trump was on Fox News. That's a fact, right? We want to focus on those things and not, oh, well, if you take a 5-minute chart and you overlay an SMA on it and you take it here and then you'll get this certain, that sort of stuff, it changes. Mm-mm-mm. MBO has latency though. It can't get faster than CQG. Well, I don't know. I want to connect into the API directly because to get their like iceberg and stop tracker, and mind you, it just shows you when the stop orders hit, not like where they are or anything. It costs like an extra $50 a month or something. And I think that I can just tie myself into the API directly and do it that way. So, yeah, I put the far left one is copper right now. So interesting. So you were saying that copper was, well, you said it is pretty thin, but it hasn't traded a very wide range, so it doesn't tick around very much. And there's a few dozen at every price. This actually looks like a kind of an interesting combination. That it's a lightly traded instrument that actually has a decent amount of liquidity for how unpopular it is. Okay, but it can move up pretty easily, it looks like. And we did see there as the hour changed, we did see some movement. It wasn't a ton, but it was a few dozen contracts. So that's interesting. It depends on how you trade. I see MBO could provide. Yeah, I see some things that I want to do with MBO, but I would have to write my own platform. I don't think that I would be able to do all of it in Bookmap. I think I could write my inventory thing in Bookmap. Maybe I should. Pull down their demo. I wonder if their demo allows programming. Or maybe I could work something out for them. Yeah, because it's pretty useful. I should talk to them. Try asking them about it. Like the first minute had more volume than the last 5. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so here's how this kind of works. So I worked for a large bank, and I didn't write the robot specifically. When I worked for the big bank, I was in technology, and we were primarily the exchange connectivity. Okay, but we would interface with most of our clients essentially were automated trading. One of the systems that I worked with was basically there to detect when robots were going awry, which is kind of funny. Um, and that would happen actually a lot. That would actually happen a lot more than you would think, right? So my understanding about how most of these AI, when we talk about the artificial intelligence ones, like machine learning algorithms, the most common way that the machine learning algorithm works is it's going to look at the past history and it's going to do generational strategies. So it kind of has these building blocks that it knows it can build a strategy out of. And then it will test random combinations of these building blocks and see what works best over the most recent time. And then what you do is you run that every night. So you get something as the market changes, your algorithm is going to change too. And that's basically how it works. So there are some advantages and issues with that, right? So issues, first of all, if you're a retail trader, you're not going to be able to do that. Like, I bet you if we had a Threadripper machine, then maybe we could do some of that stuff every night. Even then, it would be really hard because these guys that are trading it, I have these huge supercomputers that are running all night, running out billions of strategies and testing them, right? But then the other key thing to realize about this is that it is based on past data, right? So they kind of know things about the markets and the way that things tend to go from a historical standpoint. But the machine learning doesn't have any way of going, okay, Donald Trump just said X on Fox News. Is that good or bad for the markets? How do you determine that? You know? Now there's some things that can read the human readable speech and try and make those decisions, but they get it wrong because basically they just say Donald Trump, tariffs, bad, sell. Right? They get it wrong all the time. So that is why I say if you are trading discretionary and without the assistance of an AI, right? Then you want to focus on those things that the robots can't do very effectively. So our edge is more along the lines of looking at the news and the fundamental data that's coming out and understanding it better than other traders so that we can make more informed decisions, right? So that's where I'd say there are limitations to artificial intelligence, and we need to take advantage of those limitations, essentially, right? But if you're a programmer and you understand machine learning and you have a really powerful computer to churn numbers with, then I would, if that's your area of expertise, then I would go there and I would see what you can do. Just realize it's competitive. It's very competitive, right? That's that's I guess all I can say about that. Talk about that a lot. You know what? I should include that. Yeah, exactly. So I'm writing something. We're writing a manual. Thank you very much. And we should put that in there. Um, how machine learning algorithms work. So what we're doing here is we're writing a manual, a day trading manual. And what I want to do is I want to make it available for free. And so that means that I can show it to you guys here on stream and you can help me write it. Yeah. Right now, though, I haven't written like any paragraphs or anything. I just kind of have a outline of the major things that I want to talk about. What are you talking about? Does that mean it's fix Qt open and close? You have to restate that, Pierre. I don't understand what you're asking. You need to close that because that can take up memory. In this normal operation, how much am I using right now, by the way? 55%? I think that I need to increase the amount of memory in my machine We need to spend $60, double the amount of memory, and try backtesting and seeing if that increases our backtesting results, improves our backtesting results. Because I think it may be that the piece of data that we're looking to backtest is just too large. So doing some backtestings the other weekend. So in NinjaTrader here, you go new strategy analyzer. Takes it a second to pop up for some reason. And then you get this thing. So then you can come in and you can say, okay, here's the strategy we want to backtest. Yeah. Well, you know what I'm finding interesting already about it, Kevin, is that there's they are moving on much less than what is listed there, isn't there? So that suggests to me that the liquidity is almost entirely provided by a robot that pulls their orders, you know? So that's really interesting to me. It it's uh I mean the thing is that that means there is going to be some opportunity there for sure, right? But there's a lot we're going to have to understand about copper. But because um here in Utah, we have the Kennecott copper mine, and they're owned by what is the name of their what is the name of the owner of that? Who owns it now? Um it's so Rio Tinto. They're owned by Rio Tinto. So I'm wondering if I can find somebody here in Utah that knows people at Rio Tinto that could teach us about things about copper supply. When I traded gold, it was the same and pretty common. Oh yeah, it's common. It certainly is. Well, I mean, in treasuries, there's always a certain amount we'll pull if it gets hit, right? One of the things that ends up being significant is if the price doesn't pull and they trade through it. Right. Well, I think that it would be like um, if there's a piece of news out there that we know affects copper significantly and we can trade it as a trend and we can just write it. Yeah, for sure. But that's where I'm saying the more we can understand about how it works, the better, right? I think this will be a really good um, example case here, where we say, because I've always been trying to teach people that the more you know about how your market works, really. Hmm. Um. But that's not really a lot of volume, is it? So I wonder. So we should look at the volume between the different markets. Okay, let's research this. Mm, 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 mm. Is it a ferrous metal? Is that what it is? No, it is not. Copper. Official prices. Opening stocks in tons. Huh. Well, so there's this one right here, right? Volume in September is 25,000 contracts. 25,000 contracts in September. But I want to know how much was it in, oh, here we go, market data reference prices. Reports and data volumes. Monthly averages. I have to register, but I think it will let me see. So I'm wondering if the oh, sorry, we have to. Good thing it was that old address. Okay. You have to put in like a company name and stuff. Get rid of that. Yeah. Okay. Apparently that won't work. Okay. I want copper. No. Okay. Here we go. Oh, you're not out because of those storms, are you? Or is it just anyways, it was a pretty good weekend. I actually got like way too much rest, to be honest. Daily volumes. What do they call copper? Copper fact sheet. Because it doesn't tell me what the peak value 1250. Dun, dun, ba, 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 dum, ba, dum. So they have open outcry for copper, it looks like. Daily volume for LME copper averages over 140,000 lots per day. LME Select accounts for 40% of all market traded volume. Okay. So we just discovered something important here, didn't we, Kevin? Copper is a very segmented market. There's not one exchange where it's traded that basically all of the trading is done on. Good Sunday. How are you? Mm-mm-mm. So it looks to me like that there's more volume and liquidity trading it on the London Metal Exchange than uh maybe. I know that some data definitely comes in more than every quarter second. Yeah, well, so Sunday Driver, that one was there you go. Perfect. Thank you so much, Win. See what you see what she just did there? She clipped because that was like, we learned something. We want to be able to go back and find it and maybe make a video out of it. Very good. No, so Sunday Driver, that was an interesting story, but I think that the media is overhyping it. So Warren Buffett invested in a gold mining company, but when you look at the actual size of the investment, it wasn't a very large investment, and it's likely that that investment wasn't made directly by Warren Buffett, but like one of his two associates. So the reading that some people are trying to make out of it, they're like, "Oh, Warren Buffett is giving in on gold, and now even Warren Buffett is counter the." I think that's way overdone and not really justified by the investment that was actually made. I think it's way over. I was watching this guy on Twitter, and he gave me a great acronym. He was saying there's truth, but what truth should really stand for is the uh, how did he explain it now? It was basically like, what is the truth behind the hype? So when you look at it, there's a story and there's hype and there's like, what are people trying to get you to believe? That gold is going to, even Warren Buffett thinks gold is bullish now. Everybody should buy it. But when you look at the reality of it, it's not necessarily very important. And to be green lighted by Buffett, sure, but it doesn't mean that it's a significant investment. Yes. Yeah. Futures copper. COMEX copper premium grade A Shanghai futures is a cash settled contract based on the copper published. Okay, so that's a weird. That's a different market that's on the CME. on the SHFE. Well, that's interesting. There's a trading guide, exercise guide, information brochure. What do they got? The exchanges can provide us all sorts of information. Gives me an attachment that has like literally nothing in it. Now that makes sense to me, 100%. And that move in particular, I think, is more significant, right? Like, if the interest rates are going to stay low for a long time, at some point financials are going to come up, but it's going to be a very very long time, because how are they going to make money when the spread is nothing, you know? Yeah, that move makes a lot of sense. In fact, it's kind of almost like it's, you know, surprising that he didn't do it earlier. Yeah, you say so. They're both still below 2,000 for now. They're recovering it though. They could get there. At least they recovered a decent amount of it today. Oh, we got 5 minutes to the equities open. They have been kind of pushing that the highs there. I don't know. Well, I find copper compelling, but I don't think that we could trade it very effectively if it's that segmented. You know. No, thank you very much. Good grief. You know that, so the channel has been growing really fast. I've been surprised. I was looking at the numbers today because remember we made that video 2 weeks ago and we were like, hey, we got 3,000. So it took a long time to get to 3,000, right? Well, now we're already at 3,200. Mm-hmm. That's why we want to watch it, right? I want to watch copper as a proxy for global growth. So if we see copper, you know, continue to move it down in a downtrend. Now it's recovering it, so it might not be a big deal. But okay, let's bring this back to the Nasdaq for the open here. Well, and they're gonna nickel and dime you more, right? They're all going into consumer banking, and they're gonna want to make money off of that for sure. Mm, I don't know. The other thing is the timing. It's not you're in London, you know, you're in Europe, so probably the the timing works better for you, right? 'Cause it looks like, you know, a lot of that movement is gonna happen overnight. Like when the manufacturing numbers for China come out in particular, that's gonna have a big effect on them, right? Yeah. fix that. Don't need that. Yeah. I still think it would be nice to learn more about it. I don't know if I could trade it. But that's the thing is for Kevin, clearly the answer here is if he wants to trade copper, he should trade it on the London Metal Exchange. And that's a significant portion of the volume in the market. Okay. Goldman rise in large company bankruptcies could present a 94K per month drag on job growth. Ugh. Yeah, what did he? She'll explain it. I'm sure that the payoff joke here is coming. S&P 500 to jump 20% on pandemic recovery. Learn bonds. Goldman Sachs has become the latest firm to say they expect U.S. stocks to boom in the second half of the year. What, really? CNN poll. Biden's lead on Trump tumbles by 10 points after 2 months of rioting. That's a CNN poll. I tell you what, this election at the moment is starting to look like it's going to be really close. Okay, here's the open. Let's clear this. Okay, so initial move down only goes about 6 ticks. So this is still screaming, slow market. It looks like a very slow market, but let's see. They are selling. If they sold enough, maybe we could get some sort of a, breakdown. At the same time, I might be looking to fade this in some certain spots. So if it can get there. Yeah. Because there's nobody to really wash out, right? It makes sense. The issue is still acquiring the product specific knowledge, because it sounds like it's a very, very specific commodity and there's not a ton of information out there. But we'll see if we can find anybody that has knows anything useful. Okay. NASDAQ is starting to swing around here. Right after gold. Oh, I'm sure that the CME gold is way higher volume than copper. And probably silver lately, at least. Yeah. Like I said, we have one of the largest copper mines here in Utah. Although I don't know if they're making money with it. Right, there was a huge collapse, and they laid a ton of people off. I don't know if it's opened back up yet. It's probably been long enough. Seems like that was like 2 years ago. It was a big, big mistake. I would like to go up there. Maybe that's something we can do this weekend if we have the kids. Hmm. Hmm. All A-level and GCSE pupils in England to get teacher-assessed grades. What does that mean? Help me out here, heroes. What does that mean? Does that mean that they were thinking that they weren't going to give kids grades and now they are or something? Oh. Tesla's trading at its highest level since July 13th, 1694. If Tesla keeps going up, my goodness. Okay, so there's the open. Well, the cell was not able to make it to the downside spots that I would see. Wow. Biden leads President Donald Trump by 4 points nationally. You know, I don't know why that reminds me of this, but over the weekend I decided to make a thread because I was reading on Reddit. And one of the things that I would see was, I'm a recently profitable trader. Here's my strategy. And then you'd go in and you'd read it. And it was like a bunch of technical analysis heuristics that are unlikely to make you a profitable trader. In my opinion. In my opinion. Wait, what do you mean? Oh.
Seth, what happened to your robo?
Oh,
Feels
it
weird
is
without
there.
voice.
You know what? I didn't realize that it wasn't going. So we need to fix that. Let's see here. Where is it? What do I have to do? Cable, output, maybe virtual audio. That should come to here. So I think that that's what I've got to do. Is I've got to make it output. This one.
Kevin Wimmer says lol.
Ah,
Kevin Wimmer says lol.
there we go.
Salim L says it looks like everyone is on vacations. Looks like NQ is too sharp and filled scary summer vacation AIs.
Then I'll open a YouTube video and play this. And you can't hear it. Okay. Okay. So now we should be able to hear it.
Kevin Wimmer says they just crushed last week's high in copper.
Is that what that is?
Salim L says it looks like everyone is on vacations. Looks like NQ is too sharp and filled scary summer vacation AIs.
Well, I have it at 29. Oh, no, you're right. No, they went through it. No, you're right. So it seems to me like the markets are saying forward. Any concerns? And look at the treasuries. The treasuries falling out here.
Kevin Wimmer says 2.9025 was last week's high.
I think if I'm going to take a trade, it should be here in the treasury. Now, in the E-mini, there's maybe some question about how high it can actually go. But so far, everything looks like it's just like, quiet market, risk on.
Pierre Klotz says at this time of the year, itis always slow.
It is. You're right. This is usually the worst.
Kevin Wimmer says now with Robo Voice I can ask again. At Winston's mom, what Freudian slip?
I feel so dumb that because somebody earlier asked me, who are you talking to? And I was like, the text to speech. And I didn't realize that he couldn't hear it. It's so funny. Oh, I'm so dumb, guys. Okay, well, that worked out.
Vlad Stolyarov says I am thinking about not watching the market at all today.
That's weird. I'm gonna have to go find over here. Not watching the market all day. Well, it could, yeah. I hear you. I mean, I just try and trade it sim. Is what I'm gonna do. That's weird.
Pierre Klotz says Sam's here. Salim L says Vlad me too. I am tried. Vlad Stolyarov says my longer term plan it makes all time high in rolls. Winston's mom says I was teasing you about copper and playing with an alchemical pun about ethos and copper being feminine and Freud finding everything sexual, hence Freudian slip with slip being a petticoat.
That was a little too highbrow for us, I think. I think we should maybe.
Kevin Wimmer says today is rollover day in crude. Tomorrow the October contract should have more volume.
Okay. So
Vlad Stolyarov says 3,400 area somewhere would be that euphoria high.
I feel like that the E-mini would have to sell a little bit more first. I was looking for them to come back to like 74 or something, but they didn't come even close to that. Now, that said, even though the E-mini looks like they're going to start pushing up into an uptrend, the treasuries are holding their bids.
Kevin Wimmer says at Winston's mom I am not that educated lol. Didn't know that. Live Action says S near retest highs from 8/12 13 to 14 where technical analysis won't work. Salim L says Winston's Zaman is gold masculine.
Somebody left a message on my channel, but then I go to look at it on the video and it's not there. Whatever. So I was talking about something. What was I talking about? Oh, yes. I was talking about I made a thread on Reddit and I was like, "Dear recently profitable traders," because I keep seeing these threads are like, "I'm a recently profitable trader." And I'm like, how do you decide you're a recently profitable trader? Right? Like you won money, you didn't lose money this week, so now you're profitable or something? Like the whole thing is just ridiculous to me, you know? Well, anyways, people didn't take too kindly to it. There's a couple of people that didn't like hearing that. So when you were talking about you give them gold, but they expect only copper or something. I don't know. Like if you tell people the things that they want to hear, then you're super popular. You can do it. I believe in you. They love that shit. But if you tell them, well, okay, you need to tone it down a little bit because you might hurt yourself here. They don't like that. Yeah, the Nasdaq is pushing up there. I wonder, man, it would be going too fast to really tell, but I'm wondering if you can do push and pull with the Nasdaq and the E-mini. Like you want to get filled with a big order on the E-mini, come over into the Nasdaq and sell it down a few prices.
Winston's mom says Salim El Gold represents the sun and the sun as fire, masculine energy logos.
Hmm.
Vlad Stolyarov says I know some shorts still didn't cover NQ.
Really? Well, I do see a decent number of shorts picked it up there since the open. But
Live Action says, you can do it. You sound like that long-haired trainer on the Geico commercial. Vlad Stolyarov says so you get effect of what stocks will split next, hype, and short covering.
the whole stock split thing, it's so dumb. It's the Tesla thing, it's so dumb. That stock is not driven by any kind of fundamental valuation play at
Vlad
all.
Stolyarov says it's the crowd effect.
Yeah, it's totally just retail mania. Could not. I mean, I guess if you were already in it, you can sit and
Culture
try and
Horse
see how
says
long you
GM.
can run it.
What eye
But
is that girl's voice?
so
Vlad
I'm
Stolyarov
using
says AMZN Google CMG can do it any day.
yeah, I'm using Google's text to speech. Google has a text to speech that
Vlad
service
Stolyarov
that you
says
have.
bring their value up 10 to 20%. Salim L says Winstammen I feel like shit today. Can you please explain my ethos?
And I'm querying their API and getting the sounds back and playing them. So it's all a custom built thing that I have that does it. Yeah. And she sounds really good, right? Especially when you guys are asking accusative questions like, you know, oh man, what was the one that was earlier? Let me scroll up. This one, the first one.
Kevin Wimmer says I don't know Seth. Getting ready and position I get it. But always at the same time? Always at the full hour? Sent you a screen 5-minute chart last Friday.
It's really good, right? It's really, really good at that. Oh man. And it's always getting better. Okay, there the treasuries went.
Bob Calderon says she sounds fabulous. She is so smart and works so hard. Winston's mom says Salim L. If you want to understand this a bit better, Sir Isaac Newton thought the philosopher's stone was the secret to turning lead into gold. He studied alchemy.
Kevin Wimmer says I am still the best voice, China number one, no competition, else I will put you in Chinese gulag.
We get NAHB
Salim L
housing
says
index in a few minutes.
HAHAHAHA.
She should do better at recognizing laughing. What if you just do ha ha? Let me try it. Let's try it.
Salim L says that voice is better. Salim L says keep it. Vlad Stolyarov says Sir Isaac Newton chased a bubble, the South Sea Company, and lost money.
Oh, really?
Speculator Seth Day Trading says haha.
There you go. So we'll do it that way.
Kevin Wimmer says still sounds more human than Mark Zuckerberg.
How do you know that it's not? Anyway.
Pierre Klotz says aha aha.
There you go. I guess if you just do too many ha-has in a row, then she doesn't know what it is. Or if you're using capital letters.
Arnoldo Fernandez says hello from Brazil.
Oh, hey. You know, we have a couple of viewers from like two that I can think of. Wait, they haven't stopped in a while though. So welcome. There's more futures trading down in Brazil than I realized. You think that they're going to break this? Oh wait, I mean the 1486 is hit into it. That's a pretty good amount there that could mean that we would move lower, but it's not. The E-mini is not just taken off there, and that looks like that's what might be required.
Winston's mom says Jared Kushner has that robot voice, and I heard him on Sunday skip a few beatbots. I think he was rebooting during a Maria Bartiromo interview.
I don't know if I've ever heard him speak. Oh, so I forgot where I was reading this Biden's lead on Trump thing. And even less across 15 battleground states that will determine who wins the Electoral College. In those 15 states, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Iowa, Maine, Michigan, Minnesota, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Mexico, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Texas, and Wisconsin, the new CNN poll has Biden leading by just 1%. The poll indicates that the riots have not only convinced many independents and moderates to vote for Trump, but that the unrest has also hardened support among Trump's base. Indeed, the numbers show that the president's backing among conservatives has been boosted from 76% to 85%. Those between the ages of 35 and 64
Winston's
now
mom
lean
says,
towards
Speculator
Trump
Seth,
having
do you
favored
plan to live stream any of the convention
back in
tonight or
June.
over the keynote nights?
No. I didn't even realize that was going on today, to be honest.
RJ Wheels says Jared and Steve Miller in ABXW photo would look like they work for the Third Reich.
The survey was also conducted after the announcement of Kamala Harris as Biden's running mate, suggesting her selection has done nothing to help Biden or even harmed his chances. When was their last survey? This is significant, actually.
Kevin Wimmer says this could be some rollover trend day in oil. Big reversal since this open.
So are the prediction markets reacting? Doesn't look like it.
Kevin Wimmer says from low of the day to high of the day.
There's still a bunch of people saying that it will be Harris. That's funny. Well, on the 11th, he was at 59. And all weekend, he's been at 58. This new poll has not been factored in. He shouldn't be 58. He should be at best 55, if not 52. So there's an opportunity to sell it for a few ticks. just post this over in, post this over in Discord politics here. Okay. How soon until we start hearing from Democrats? I don't agree with everything the Cheney family does, but they are decent people and patriots who love this country. Because Liz Cheney.
Winston's mom says
hates
RJ
Donald
Wheel,
Trump, I
they
guess.
probably did. Only the good die young.
There's been a reversal in oil. Let's see. Ooh, big up, big up. Well, but that seems to be in line with the fundamentals. I don't know.
Salim L says I need a Thailand beach body on body massage and freshly hand-pressed cold orange juice.
The thing is the market is looking pretty bullish, but because it's
Kevin
so
Wimmer
slow,
says
they're
yeah,
just
and
not
it's like I
going
said,
anywhere.
rollover day. Many highs in front of us. Could be some squeeze trend day.
Yeah, I gotcha. You're looking for it to go much higher than it already is. Steve Bannon claims Democrats want the destruction of the American way of life. Okay, Steve. I mean, I am certainly concerned about the American way of life, how that goes if Democrats get in, but I'm not. I think that they're just naive. They don't understand the implications of the things that they're asking for. Treasury market pretty thick here now.
Kevin Wimmer says honestly there are only 2 rollover days in crude. The boring and super slow ones. One awful range and that's it in the let's screw some trades and trend days.
Oh yeah. I was like, the oil tends to move, right? So my wife, she traded oil once. I've told you this story before, right, Kevin? And this was before things got super nuts. And she just scalped it. Like I told her 10 and 10 or whatever
Vlad
it was.
Stolyarov says think or swim is broken today, that's why it's slow.
And she made like
Vlad
$1,000.
Stolyarov says mine stuck on updates.
She made $1,000 just trading 10 ticks at a time and fading the edges of the range. And all she did was look at the chart and said, well, it looks a little high, so I'm going to sell it. And it looks a little low, and I'm going to buy it. And it was like, that was like the one time during that whole like spring, like that whole quarter, that you could have gotten away with that, because almost every other day after that, it trended. It was freaking hilarious. So if Thinkorswim is broken today, huh?
RJ Wheel says why did she pick oil? Salim L says she outperformed you. Vlad Stolyarov says that's like 80% of orders lol.
Well, so she can't trade it really early. So she wanted to trade something that was still moving quite a bit during the day. And so I felt like that you would get more activity in oil than you would get in equity indexes at that time. Because we're talking about like after I stream. Probably the best thing for her would be to trade the equities
Kevin Wimmer
close,
says
but
tell her to trade NQ lol.
Hmm. Well, E-mini down, trying to dig itself out here, trying to make a little turn happen. NQ certainly pushing its highs and leading the way again. So we continue to get those growth stocks dragging us up, even though apparently value has been outperforming it by like 3% or something.
Salim L says if she trades NQ she will take revenge on him.
Yeah.
Kevin Wimmer says NQ pretty close to all-time high. Think only 25 to 30 points away.
I don't think she would like NQ. Way too all over the place. So I think I'm catching a little bit of spreading action because it seems like that the 30-year.
Kevin Wimmer says imagine being a short in NQ lol.
Right? Oh, yeah. Don't.
Live Action says looks like 6A front running RBA minutes ladder today.
Copper's still going. Kind of pulling back there a little bit now, but the dollar got creamed there off of the E-mini open. Oh, we got the NAHB housing
Salim
index.
L says ahaha. Imagine being anywhere in NQ.
78 versus an expected 73. I didn't hear them say it.
HF says usual slow Monday.
Well, it's not just that it's a slow Monday, HF. It's mid-August is like the slowest. I don't know why I wasn't hearing my financial juice feed, but I think it's okay.
HF says true. Vlad Stolyarov
This
says
is
many
the
people
worst
use
2
think or
weeks.
swim for charts. Vlad Stolyarov says they just want open trades if something broken.
The 2 weeks before school starts for the majority of Americans are the slowest because that's when people really go on holiday.
Winston's mom says checking up on the stock market. Helium was up, feathers were down. Paper was stationary, fluorescent tubing was dimmed in light trading. Knives were up sharply, hiking equipment was trailing. Live Action says NQ looks strong today. YM not paying attention.
Knives were up sharp.
Winston's mom says weights were up in heavy trading. Light switches were off. Mining equipment hit rock bottom. Diapers remained unchanged. Copied from MIT.
Where did you get that? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Diapers remain unchanged. I'm going to try and use that
Winston's mom
joke
says
with my wife
Coca-Cola
today.
fizzled. Sun peaked at midday. Balloon prices were inflated. Batteries exploded in an attempt to recharge the market. Live Action says at Winston's mom ha ha ha.
That was the best thing you found for us so far. Yeah. See, Dave, so here, let me show you something. Dave Portnoy. Dave Portnoy, everyone knows you don't say what crypto you're about to buy until you've kryptonized it. Okay, thanks, David Portnoy, for letting us all know that you're basically pump and dumping. That's how I read that. Oh, I'm pump and dumping it. Get in it before I tell everybody. You don't want to tell everybody first because then I'll be chasing it. That's such disappointing. You know what, Dave? I hope the SEC pays you a visit at some point. At some point.
Winston's mom says Coca-Cola fizzled. Sun peaked at midday. Balloon prices were inflated. Batteries exploded in an attempt to recharge the market. Live Action says at Winston's mom ha ha ha. R Factor says, never short a dull market, hence the saying.
Man. You know what? I really hate any kind of heuristical. Is that a word? Heuristical? Like all of these heuristics to say, okay, like I was so somebody was I was reading what was it, Max Price Action Trading System. Somebody shared some of that with me, and like it was all like, okay, if you have a resistance area, you never want to take the short of it until it's broken through it once. Was like one of the rules, and I'm like, well, when they're close to a thing, and especially in the E-mini, they do tend to go through it, but not always. It's just like it's a heuristic that's not really very accurate description of the. It's just not nuanced enough to really explain how the market works. And I was looking at that whole system. The only reason that that system has that any worth is because it has a large stop, so it wins the majority of the time. But I think that when you actually go through and do the stats out, I think you can find the majority of participants lose with that system because but it's just here. I don't think that heuristics are very effective in markets. And every time we share a heuristic, what we're really doing is we're putting planting an idea in other traders' heads about the way things tend to be that's going to limit their trading. I think that you should trade the fundamentals of it, personally. So the fundamentals at the moment, though, are that people are on vacation. So don't put on risk. Seems simple to me. Sure, it's true.
R Factor says only a saying, not a system lol. RJ Wheel says unlicensed people are allowed to give out advice on a paid service. Winston's mom says Salim L drugs are not legal in my state. Lol, I am an INTJ. Are you familiar with MBTI personality typing and or Carl Jung's introverted intuitive? Lol, I am also a Gemini Sun, Libra ASC Danishta.
Treasury is pretty thick here. $26 has gone into that 09 half. 5-year down ticks. So NQ still looks pretty strong. How far off the highs are they? They're not too far off the highs. They're definitely up. The E-mini on the lower end of its range now. They did break a new low, but that initial low wasn't very strong. I thought that we were going to come back to like 74, 70, and then maybe turn. But I don't know. As we said, it's a slow market, so it's pretty hard to predict what it's actually going to do right now, isn't it? It went down as you expected. I wouldn't explain it that way. Oh, how come I'm not reading all these out?
RJ Wheel says Winston. You sound like you come from Wakanda. Salim L says Winston's mom, I don't know, I am dumb. I eat too much. My brain is processing speed is too slow.
Okay, so they did
HF says
downtick
it
to the
might come
09.
down to fill the gap.
So here's the thing where it's like for like an actual trade that I'm willing to put money on, I just don't see enough of an edge to say. But my my scenario here would be for them to move down to about to 74 to 70 and then try and turn and go back higher. There you go. Anthony Crudelli. I understand the context of the markets. That's my
Mahdi El
strength.
Mesaudi says I would listen to her the whole day, really.
Then when there's little bits of show up and I
HF
can see
says
nuance
yes.
in them, that's my greatest
Mahdi El
strength.
Mesaudi says carrot. Carrot.
There you go.
Winston's mom says RJ Wheel. Face it, boys, I am older and I have more insurance, and I can make really terrific fried green tomatoes.
And see me, active trader, retweeted it. See, now they're giving you this stuff that matters. See, you got to understand what's going on. Can make really terrific green fried tomatoes. That is a decent amount of orders that got absorbed there at 09.5.
RJ Wheel says anyone that likes paint your wagon is okay in my books.
Is that the quote from that? I don't think I've seen that. Actually, I think I have seen that and I fell asleep. I've been watching movies that, like, when I was a little kid, I would fall asleep during. So, like, I watched Neverending Story the other day. I always fall asleep in that movie. Like, the horse would die and it's really sad, and then I would fall asleep. Man. Well, I don't know what the deal is, but I'm, like, really thirsty. So I'm going to go and get some water here while this churns, all right?
Salim L says Winston's mom is on of Seth's AI creations on NinjaTrader. Salim L says 1 asterisk. Winston's mom says Lee Marvin. Wandrin Star HD plus lyrics RJ Wheel. RJ Wheel says voice described as a rusty drainpipe. Salim L says Winston's mom, what do you think about humans? RJ Wheel says for or against.
Okay, so I'm walking and I'm going to the bathroom and I look out the window and there's chickens walking around outside. So I don't know how they got out, but there's still a little spot that they can get out from the roof. So I'm wondering if they climbed out. But I only see 4 of them, so I'm gonna go out there and check and make sure that the other 2 are still in the chicken coop. All right. So I will be back. I see that it ticked back up on me again with the 5,000 going the other way. E-mini's still pointed down.
Winston's mom says Salim L. Curious how often you humans manage to obtain that which you do not want. Vulcan salute. Winston's mom says buffering. Salim L says Seth is actually adjusting Winston's mom's AI parameters. There are no chicken in his house, only parrots. Winston's mom says I wonder how our programmer managed to change parrots, Sun Conyers into ferrets for my programming. That was an interesting choice and I very much approve.
Well, that doesn't look too good, does it? Wonder how a programmer managed to change parrot sun conures into ferrets for my programming. That was an interesting. Wait, what? No, I have chickens. We have 6 chickens.
Salim L says Seth UAI froze my brain again.
Oh, we're gonna have to bail on this, guys. Looks like the downtrend continued. Well, too late now. Now I just have to wait and see if it stops. 890 at 10.5. That sucks. So now that's accelerating there. Donald Trump speaking, I guess. Said he has an emergency declaration for Iowa. That's good. Couple days late, but whatever. Surprised that whole thing in Iowa hasn't been getting a whole lot of play. Well, it definitely, I don't know. So it's definitely turned down
Salim
here.
L says, Seth, is Winston's mom a human or an AI you created?
No, she's a human. She's a human. I wish.
Mahdi El Mesaudi says, which market?
I couldn't write that. She's so good. I tell you what, she has done so much for this channel. When she started coming around, that was when the channel really took off. All it takes is one or two really good members of chat. You guys are so great. Maddie was asking which market. So the E-mini is coming down. The E-mini is trending down here at the moment. We got squeezed out of our position in the treasuries.
R Factor says bids in at 73.50 to 72.
So if I had been around and I saw them starting to tick up into 10, I should have bailed there. But like I said, were none of these trades that we're taking probably all this week are going to be real trades.
Mahdi El Mesaudi says E6.
So the euro did have a jump up a little bit earlier today off of the open in the US equity indexes.
Winston's mom says cool.
One thing I'm noticing is that I don't appear to be seeing a lot of contracts absorbing on this way down in the index. So I suppose that means that if they're going to push it, that they could probably go a lot further. They're not getting a lot of resistance against it, I guess is the point. Now they touched 74. I don't know if that's enough. This is really that whole area between 74 and 68, really, that they could probably find some liquidity. Just didn't warn calls on McConnell to bring the Senate back to address the Postal Service. Probably not going to happen. I guess I'd have to read their bill and see what's in their bill, but I'm going to guess that the Republicans will just ignore it. Okay, so there is the E-mini turning around really quickly. Well, I'm going to try and take that. If I can get it at actually, here would be fine. We shall see. If that down move was just positioning, which it could be, then this should be a pretty good trade. But whoa, hold up. Oh, jeez. I took that with the wrong. I executed that wrong. well, whatever we want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do that. Mnuchin is holding a virtual teleconference call with G7 finance ministers today per Treasury guidance. Hmm. Cool. That one worked. Probably could hold it for more. You think that they're going to go for the high of the day? I only wanted to go for 2 points there because it's a really slow day and it's going to be hard to get a whole lot of movement. So I felt like that should be adequate. And I don't know if they're going to bounce off this open, so I thought that was a good spot. Now here in the treasury, I could try selling 20 or 11.5. In fact, will.
Mahdi El Mesaudi says, did you had some orders today?
Yeah, well, I put in sim trades. So I just took 2 points there on a sim trade. Basically, I was looking for it to come down to a spot. It turned around before it got there. So I thought I'd take 2 points off of it.
Salim L says Mahdi E6 is for options.
That's for the euro, right? Euro FX. They took down at 11. I should have had an order sitting there at 11.5.
Mahdi El Mesaudi says S.
Of course. Well, maybe they'll go.
Mahdi El Mesaudi says ESMP.
Seems like somebody does want to buy it. Does anybody use a super trend?
HF
No.
says, does anyone here use Supertrend indicator? Salim L says, where did you see it? Is it the delta down there?
No. So I will use a super smoother. just similar ideas. Um, no, so it was really was um Salima, it was really was just I saw the spot. And I mean, there's a couple of different ways that you could see it. If you were looking for a technical indicator, one way was a pivot. So we had a 1 minute bar that closed above the high of the previous bar, was one way to see it. The other way to see it was they kind of crossed over the 1 minute, a 10-minute simple moving average is another way to look at it. I'm really hesitant to tell you guys those sorts of things because I don't want you to think that these technical levels are reasons to buy and sell. But I'm trying to read the fundamental situation is that there's not a whole lot fundamentally driving this market. So they're having a very hard time going very far either direction. And then if that is, I want to see them try and wash each other's positions out. And I just knew that there was positions all the way from 68 to 74. That's basically like the break even points between the buyers and the sellers. So when they came down and they weren't even able to get below 74, they bounced off of it immediately. That to me was a reason to try and take 2 points. But I didn't take it on a live trade, so. Mm-mm-mm. You can see down here, though, in the delta's switched. It's been pretty strong trend ever since they turned back around, hasn't it? Okay. I'll put that there, and we'll try and get that. Let's see if the Treasury holds this or not. Because at the moment, the Treasury is kind of trading pretty aggressively long. Look at that. He's fighting to hold it at 11.5.
R Factor says fundamentally the Fed is looking at upcoming inflation, which will drive assets higher.
If that's the case, though, then why aren't the treasuries selling more? I don't know. I mean, there's definitely a reflation thing going on here. Or in markets lately, let's say. I don't know if that's what's driving them right now. Like, that's where I'm like, when I talk fundamental, I'm like, changes. Like, what are things that we're learning right now that the market is trying to price in? Amazon in talks for minority stake in Rackspace. Interesting.
R Factor says the balance sheet is not increasing.
Okay. Well, that is true. They haven't really been pumping a whole lot more money into the markets lately, have they? But that would still suggest treasuries down. So what might be suggesting treasuries up? Risk off movement in equities? Well, but except for that, they're moving back up to their highs now. But this continues to pump up. Expectations of future stimulus? Maybe. Nothing has happened on that front today, but that doesn't mean that they can't trade off of that. I do see like lots of everything moving up. All of the currencies are moving up. Dollars moving down. Equities are moving up. Copper moving up. Oil moving up, although oil's pretty much been dead in the water now for a while. I don't know, man. I don't know. Not seeing it. Cheney calls pardoning Snowden unconscionable after Trump says he's considering it. I think that Edward Snowden, I think that you should tell him that you will pardon him, but that he should have to go through trial first. That's what I think. But I also believe that maybe he should get a pardon. But I guess that doesn't really matter. That's just kind of a strange schism in the politics that Liz Cheney and Donald Trump don't get along and don't see they're on opposite sides of the foreign policy thing. And Democrats are kind of trying to team up with Liz Cheney now, which is funny because they always hated the Cheneys. But now we find out, oh, actually, you were neocons and you were in on it the whole time. Yes, just like we all said. Okay. Overall compliance for OPEC Plus in July was 95%.
Salim L says my 16 GB RAM is coming tomorrow, very excited.
Oh, yeah. What'll that put you at? Yeah, I need to look at that again. Maybe in a month or two. Maybe for Christmas. Some good deals for Christmas, I bet.
Mahdi El Mesaudi says what was your profit last month, slightly smiling face.
Good question. Let's go look. Well, the first thing I gotta tell you is that we're not taking much of these live in the summer, so and looking when we're talking about July, it's mostly gonna be theoretical, but did do pretty good. And then let's see here. Let's look at our E-mini trades. So that was just our E-mini trades last month. So maybe $1,000 a month. That's pretty good. But what about the stats? Oh, look, not bad. Look at that. That means Oh, actually, it is still so only 43% winners, huh? I thought we were doing a little bit better than that. Oh, look at
Salim
that.
L
Pop
says
effect of
that's
2.5.
24 GB RAM, 12,900 megahertz. I got bottlenecked at 4,000 megahertz.
Hmm. So yeah, that's okay. Okay, stats. I would like that win rate to be a lot higher. That's what I think we're working on right now. I think that I just need to be a little bit more selective, I guess. I don't know. I'm not rating. I haven't been rating or paying too much attention to my trades this summer because I usually do poorly in the summer. Been doing well this summer. I think that it's an unusual environment. So let's see how we're doing in September if things change. I think that'll be a much better gauge.
PRT1 says just order new tower case and motherboard. 2 parts down, 7 more to go on build.
Oh, good job. You guys watched my video then, yeah? I think I need to make some follow-up videos to that to like identify like I think I'll make one during Christmas for like what are the best deals out there. I also think I should make one. I think I should make one for pre-built systems. Should go out there and try and find the pre-built systems that I think are good. A lot of selling coming in there at 12, and it's holding.
Salim L says thanks. Mahdi El Mesaudi says let's forget about Corona. Do you think I can teach you something's quite impressive?
I thought I heard something bad, but it's all good. I don't know if you can hear in the music in the background from my son's baby toy.
Gorilla Digits says I've been looking at Cybertron CLX pre-builts the past week or so.
Cybertron CLX. I've never heard of that. Cybertron PCs. Back to school. Their website's not working very well.
Gorilla Digits says they. Gorilla Digits says look decent.
The thing is I think that if I was going to recommend, like if I was going to put something for recommendation, because we don't need a lot of graphics power. Like a 1650
Salim L
would
says
be
Mahdi
great.
thought you got abrupt diarrhea.
Oh, okay, so they've got some that are cheap. Their low end one is cheap at least. See, this one is good. This 898, that's perfect. 3600, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 1660. And well, this one is a SATA SSD. So that's not optimal.
Gorilla
Like, did it
Digits
come
says
with
I want to
two
run the
drives,
Asus
maybe?
65-inch monitor off of it.
No secondary storage. So I don't know if that's what I would want, because I would want the NVMe hard drives. Something you would want PCI Express NVMe hard drive. So I don't know if that would fit. But the other specs are in line with what I think you should go for. Or 3600 Ryzen. And
Gorilla Digits says they're also fully customizable.
1660 or 1650. You could save a lot by downgrading to a 1650. So if I customize it, what will it let me do here? Ooh. Choices selection. Core components. Memory, power supply. Storage. See this. You want like one of these.
Salim L says, do I need more than 1060 graphics card?
Not really. Like, frankly, I think you could get away with a 1660. Why are they all SATA 3? They're still not. I mean, an Evo was a little better, but.
Mahdi El Mesaudi says, do you know where is Morocco? You should answer this one.
M.2 SSD. PCI Express SSD. Oh, you can get an Octane? Oh, yeah. Look, that's what we want. Oh. No. No. This right here. That's what you want right there. Oh, and it's included in the price. Good deal. Oh, wait. We changed it too much? Did we change it too much? Wait. So let's go to the cheapo one. Here's the cheapo one.
PRT1 says next purchase for build MSI 570 Tomahawk GC.
Core components.
Mahdi El Mesaudi says, do you know where is Morocco? You should answer this one.
Do a 1650 adds $81. Oh, that already has a 1650 in it. Oh, wait. I mean, so for the processor, so let's come back to like the motherboard and I only can choose Intels on these ones. I guess that's like the base. How come there's a cheap Intel one, but not a cheap, well, let's do it like this. I only want ones with 1650 graphics cards in it. No, not 1050. 1650.
HF says where all the loonies are. Mahdi El Mesaudi says, I said, do you know where is Morocco?
Oh, so Morocco is off of the Mediterranean, right? It's like, I'm going to find it on a map.
Salim L says Intel is garbage.
Yeah, you really want the Ryzen. Ding, 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 ding. So I thought that it was somewhere around. Oh, there it is right there, Morocco. The other side of Spain. Anyways, I think if we're going to get a 1650.
Mahdi El Mesaudi says ever been there. Salim L says the wrong side of Spain. Haha.
The wrong side of Spain. So we're going back into this one. So this one has a 1660, right? Oh, Won't even let me do this, the cheaper one. I don't know. I have to go back because really, if I'm going to make recommendations, because there's lots of PCs you could find, but it's going to be like the customer service and stuff is going to be a big component of it, and then we'd want to pick it based off of that. And you'd want like a beefy processor, but not really a beefy video card, just an okay video card. Okay, E-mini is holding up here, but they haven't
Gorilla
gone for the
Digits
highs
says
yet.
agreed.
Haven't gone for the highs yet. But I want to make that recommendation because, like, from my last video, you can go in and you can get a pretty good idea of like what kind of system specs you want to be looking for, and like where to spend your money. But for these people that don't want to build their own machines, it's not very helpful. So that's where I think I need to go in and say, okay, so here are my choices. What would be the best one? Let's go to Walmart. Let's check what Walmart has. Because I know that Walmart has some good deals from time to time, believe it or not. Desktop computers.
Salim L says you look like an Asus guy.
Well, I do use Asus motherboards, or at least the one that I have in this machine is an Asus. Okay, and I want a Ryzen 5. GB. So this one's got a 2060, which we don't need that. A bunch of laptops.
HF says Salim and Mahdi seems like folks who have many notions.
So that's not what we want. They're still going back and forth there at 12. It's pretty balanced there, though. Look at how much volume is traded there at 12 and 11.5. Something that we could try is we could try getting out here and seeing if we can sell it at 12. There was this Linus Tech Tips where they did best, like which was the best manufacturer. Best pre-built.
HF says seems like S is up thrusting at resistance level.
Is that really 2 years ago? PC Secret Shopper. Ah, that's what I want. Let's try iBuy
Salim
Power.
L says Seth just shut off Winstanamom's motherboard.
No, she's a real person, guys. She has other stuff to do sometimes. Gosh. Okay. Easy Builder. I don't know if that's how I want to do it. AMD gaming PCs. Okay, so we want 3600. Let's do 3600X. What? I don't get anything with a 3600X? Okay. Sold out. See, these are good. What is just same day RDY systems? What's that? What about a 1650 Super? Ah, here we go. Here's one. Then can I customize it?
Salim L says Winston's mom knew too much, so Seth had to divert her attention with the chicken because her system was based off of the chicken principle. Kevin Wimmer says broke last week's high in the Emioni by 1 tick, woohoo.
Yeah. They got those highs, but they didn't really come back very much, didn't they?
Kevin Wimmer says volume is so thin in the Amini. Only 180K in the first 90 minutes. That's nothing.
New turbo. Oh, look at it. Looks fast. Desktops.
Vlad Stolyarov says yeah, it's a day off for me.
Okay, I guess we will start with this vibe. VYBE. Ryzen 5 3400. I think see
HF
like
says
this
volume
right
or
here.
delta, which is important.
This would be great. That's still $1,000. I feel like we should be able
Vlad
to get
Stolyarov
this
says
for
I was
like.
looking at refurbished Acer Predator laptops on official site around 1K.
I feel like we should be able to get
Kevin
these
Wimmer says
for
yesterday
like
was
500,
Ahmed Day.
600,
Had one
right?
break even in a Mini and since then nothing. Like 6 hours ago.
Best gaming PC by PC Gamer. Blah, 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 blah. Let's try it anyway. Okay, nothing in my cart. Components. Now I want a combo. AMD CPUs.
Salim L says no, you need the 6 core. Salim L says no, you need the 6 core.
3600 combo. No processor mom combo. Combo deals. There we go. Combo deal. And then I want CPU. Wait, how do we do it? Processor? Is it under processors? Processors, desktops. 3600. What can we get? Aha.
Salim L says 8 core.
Sort by lowest price. Okay. Look at that. Thermal paste. Oh. That's not what we want. I don't need a fan in a processor. That's okay though. We'll keep going up until we find them.
HF says what's Intel R core?
Where did you see that? I'm not sure. So I think this is what we want. Buy this combo. A disposable face mask. I'm not interested. Okay, so what kind of memory do we need here? Motherboard. DDR4 4733. Sure. We're just going for cheapo. That's a good deal. Oops, right here. Okay, then does it have an M.2? 68131 Hyper M.2. Okay. So we can get the really nice components, storage devices, internal SSD. What size does it take?
Winston's mom says chickens. Chicken, why does a chicken coop have 2 doors? Because if it had 4 doors it would be a chicken sedan. What happens when a hen eats gunpowder? She lays hand-grown eggs.
I've heard that first one about why does a chicken coop have 2 doors? Hand-grown eggs. Oh, jeez. That was a pretty bad pun.
Vlad Stolyarov says AMD Ryzen 5 3600X is $200 in Micro Center, sold locally, and sometimes they got combo with motherboard too, like $40. RJ Wheel says this is why I come to this room.
So this has PCI Express 4.0, right? Gen 4. So I think that we can look at these ones right here. Apply. Apply. Wow. A whole terabyte, and it comes with a cool little thing. Well, I don't know if we need a whole terabyte. How big is this one?
Winston's mom says why did the dinosaur cross the road? Because the chicken hadn't evolved yet. Baby chick.
There we go. This one right here looks great. Add to cart. Okay, so what do we got? We got the motherboard, processor, memory. It's hard drive. What else do we need? Probably we need a fan and a case. Okay. Well, the fan, we can just go with the stock fan for now.
Vlad Stolyarov says CPU usually comes with its own fan. Vlad Stolyarov says it's fine.
Okay, here we go. Fractal design. Yeah, let's add some Arctic silver on there. And let's go find a CPU. Who do we want? We want Noctua. Let's get a Noctua. Which one should we get? Something like
Vlad
that.
Stolyarov says CPU and stock fan don't need Arctic silver.
Well, but what if we don't have any of our own kind of grease, right?
PRT1 says Ryzen 9 for new build. It's hot in garage, so I am going to need more than stock fan.
Well, let's see. Let's put the Noctua on it. Okay. So we got the case, some thermal grease, memory, fan, processor. I can get it for 600. We should be able to get an integrated PC under 600. Is the gist of it. Oh, the E-mini came back down again, huh? Oh, well, it says to me. I do not know what my kids are doing to the baby, but they sound like complete idiots right now. It's unfortunate that their lowest one is at 749 and it's a 3400. My
HF
power.
says S by Delta really low.
AMD gaming PCs. What's the cheapest custom builder? There's that one. I should be able to get a cheaper one. Like, they don't have a cheap.
Vlad Stolyarov says Bitcoin and gold active today.
RDY.
PRT1 says retest of VWSP.
Okay, here's the one that's cheap. So I wonder if you could go with ones like this. $1650 Super. Okay, so this doesn't have enough RAM. I bet you we can
PRT1
find better
says
deals. We can keep looking.
VWAPMES.
Well, anyways. I'm sure that there should be some situations where well, not just situations, but generally speaking, you should be able to get a pre-built a little bit cheaper. But we're not finding the one with the specs that we want. Okay. So if this turns here, it's going to be a little bit of a sharp turn. I'm kind of starting to rethink this one. Where is... So they pulled at 12 on the 5 in the 10-year. So I still can't explain why they're holding up here in the 10-year so well.
Mahdi El Mesaudi says, have you ever thought about developing a system?
What do you mean by developing a system? Like a trading system?
Mahdi El Mesaudi says, yeah, that can trade for you.
Automated trading system. So I've done a lot of programming and I've traded a lot of strategies, but my observation has been that I'm just not able to get, I haven't been able to develop a system that performs better than myself, is really what it comes down to. I found a few systems that supposedly are profitable, but I haven't found one that gets better than me. So like I can trade with a profit factor of 2 to 1 or more, you know? And I'm just not finding trading systems that do that.
Mahdi El Mesaudi says, wah.
Yeah. And I mean, that makes sense because I'm using fundamentals, right? Like and this is just the thing that kills me and that I'm always trying to get across is that if you trade purely based off of technicals, I'm not saying that it can't work, but it severely limits you. Um because what you're getting with technicals is mostly randomness, you know? But if you trade off of fundamentals and news, then you're catching the stuff that's truly moving the markets. You trade off of news, you can get very high reward trades, very high probability trades. You know, you just have to know, you just have to be selective about which ones to trade. Only trade when it really matters.
Mahdi El Mesaudi says, but you could not teach your system the fundamentals you are working with.
Yep, you couldn't. It's can't program how to read the news. I don't know how to do that. I'm sure there's some people that maybe could get
RJ Wheel says, I just
somewhere
see
on
that
that,
as
but
way
it's
harder to
beyond me.
do.
It's just beyond me. Is what harder to do? To trade technicals or to trade news? Because in my opinion, it's easier to trade news. I think that if retail traders spent more time trying to understand fundamentals and news and trading off of that rather than technical
RJ
indicators,
Wheel
that
says news.
I think that if more retail traders did that, the failure rate for retail traders wouldn't be as high. No joke. Because think about it. You're trying to trade technicals and then it changes.
Salim
And
El
of
says
course it
news
fails.
versus order book. Which do you favor and why?
Well, I mean, I'm using the order book in conjunction with the news. So let's talk about order book. I feel that in the past we have maybe
Kevin Wimmer says
overstated.
Big Iceberg Cooper at 2.9000.
Okay. I feel like that maybe we have overstated what you can do with the order book and the DOM. So the DOM, I find it useful for entering orders and for being able to read the market quickly. Um, really, when you get down into it, you don't need the charts except for
RJ
maybe
Wheel
to
says
refresh
ULL
your
be back
memory.
to tech trading in 6 months.
But for what I'm doing in a trade, I just need to know if it's been moving up or down since my last reference point. And I don't know. To me, it matters more. Do I try and buy here or do I market into it? If I wanted to buy right now, I think that I would have to buy into 12 half. I would be getting squeezed into 12 half. Colonel says he still hopes for a stimulus deal. Anyways, that's the main thing with the order book, and I can kind of tell where it's been trading and where the volume profile is and everything to say, okay, if I really want to buy, and I mean I really want to buy, like I have a fundamental reason to think that they're going to buy, probably I have to buy in at 12.5. That's why you see the orders going into it, right? Because you're not going to get filled at 12 unless that pulls. And then maybe you would get filled. But then why put the order on? Wait for it to pull and then put the order on when they start hitting into it, right? But then at that point, why 12? Why not 11.5 or 10 or 11? Because of the volume profile, there's a chance you could get filled at 11, assuming they were going to come back, right? So that's all it is. It's reading the liquidity and saying, okay, where should I put my order? But it doesn't give you a probability. It just gives you a better spot. But to the larger point. Actually, sorry, I think we ran out of requests here.
Mahdi El Mesaudi says that you're trading really connected with news. Man.
So today we're not really getting a whole lot of news. That's why these are all practice trades. Notice though how terrible it's been working in the Treasury and how well it's been working in the E-mini. I don't know why the Treasury is moving up. There's a fundamental there that I'm not aware of. Must be. That or it's just watching me and trading against me. It's spiting me in particular. So we can do it over here in the E-mini too. So look at the liquidity over here in the E-mini. Where could we get filled? Well, there's a big order at 33.82. So my chances of getting filled there and higher are slightly less, right? So I might want to take it here or here. Now for me, that's my risk reward. I like to take 16. So right there at 30, I take the 20, and that's why I have the order where I do. But we could also start to read how much is trading. Like if we're here at 33.80, let's say that we start trading big icebergs here at 33.80. That's going to make me concerned about our ability to continue up a little bit more because the volume is happening here. And I'm generally going to want to get out where, kind of the higher end of the volume, right? Here's the volume profile. We can see that this is the higher end of the volume. So they're going to have to extend up here a little bit to get to us. So maybe I should take it off here. Right? That's what it's all about. Now there's a lot of nuance to it, and so it's definitely something that takes a long time to figure out. But I think that we gave people this impression that like you'll see a stack here and then this will pull and you go and you do that and you just trade that every time and you have a good setup and you'll win. And my experience has been that that's not enough. So don't you think that you have missed lots of great trades in other markets while speaking with us? No. Because I know what the fundamentals are, so I know when I need to pay attention and when I don't. Sometimes I do miss trades, but not today. Frankly, I should have talked more and not taken this one in the 10-year because I'm just dead wrong in the 10-year. Look at that. Don't know what the deal is with that one, but they just broke the highs. They want to buy. In spite of what the 10-year is doing. So I can't explain that one. I don't know what's going on in the 10-year. I have to think of some ideas why Why might they be moving up in the 10-year? Well, I suppose we had this had that bad 30-year auction that destroyed us. But before that, we were moving up off of fears of, well, what was it moving off of? Deflationary fears, I guess. Was a big down move. Now they're trying to press the higher end of that. Maybe I should just be looking at it from a technical perspective. They want to try and extend the range. That must be what it is range extension higher. I thought that this was the end and that it was just going to go down, but I was wrong. But again, it's like we have a whole lot of fundamentals driving us right now. I don't think we do. It was also that I saw, this right here, that they were overextending up into here. And they were at the previous high. I thought that they were going to fizzle out. They may do it. It might probably likely to be come up here and go 2 or 3 ticks through it and then come back down. That happens a lot. It'll come out, go the wrong way, and then come back down. I like to study mistakes and take correct trades for granted. What was the correlation you had with ZN? Well, the correlations are always changing. Right now, if they're moving up off of monetary stimulus, then man, is just buy all the things? I don't know. That's what it's been today. Oops, I need to come back over here.
Mahdi
Matt.
El Mesaudi says, but I still remember a quote of you. You should be born to be traitor.
I think that we've run out of requests for the day or something, because it's like slowing down now. Well, yeah, that's where I was saying the amount of so if we go back to the whole thing of where I was like, I think that you'd have a much easier time trying to trade the news and fundamentals. Okay, so if you get there, what kind of effort does it take to be on top of the news and fundamentals and be competitive with the news and fundamentals? It takes a lot of effort, doesn't it? There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to read. Uh, a lot of boring stuff, frankly. How do you do that? You have to have something fundamental, um, a fundamental belief in about yourself and in what you're doing to keep you doing it. So it literally has to be like you were born to do this. It can't just be like I'm bored and I want to make some money. Those people all wash out. Those people all try to do technical analysis because that's the easy way, supposedly, and fall on their face. Right? Maybe the more convincing way to share this concept with people is that there's no shortcuts. That you have to understand the whole market. It's not just, you can't just shortcut read a thing, trade this one thing, and then that'll be good. Doesn't work that way. Mm. So they're trading up here. I don't know if they're trading a ton of volume here or not. Looks pretty dead. Uncertain if they'll turn back down or not. Treasuries still seem to be squeezing higher. Raphael, hello, how are you? We got about 5 minutes left, by the way, guys. I want to see this, would like to see this one come up, but I'm starting to think that, right now we could move that to there. We'd be more likely to get filled there, right? Or we could just bail out where we're at right now. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Arizona reports 468 new virus cases, no new COVID-19 deaths. It's really interesting to me that there's still like, as far as I can tell, it's basically over in the United States. We still see posts about it. We still see the numbers and stuff. Hey, maybe we could get the full 16. Let's see. That was a little bit of a stop run there, and we got filled, and then it stopped right there. It's really interesting. Well, I played the E-mini correct this time. Bum, 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 ba-dum. So yesterday I was misreading it, and I was like, this should work in tight action. Why is it not working? So this time I tightened it down a little bit. Wasn't looking for as much. Kind of was doing equal risk reward, making sure that I was really truly like at the edge before I took it. That worked a lot better. 2 for 2 on the E-mini, and 0 for 2 on the Treasury, which the Treasury continues to evade me. I've made some okay trades in the Treasuries, but overall lately that just haven't been trading it very well. I've been doing amazing in equities and Treasuries of just like, I clearly there's information I'm missing and I don't know how to find it. Figure it out, It's got to be some more news beyond just my news squawk, Okay, well, anyways, guys, what should we name today's video? What were we talking about earlier? Oh, so we got bill auctions coming up. That might be what I'm missing. But how do they know the bill auction is the way to go? Okay, well, let's see. Let's wait here 30 seconds and then we'll see what they do in the bills. Apparently they want them. They do tend to move up on auctions. Okay. Still waiting for the news. Titled Zian, the fat dad that is always bashing me. She, I'm just getting unrequited love from her lately, and the E-Mini's over here like, hey Seth, why don't you come play with us? And ZM is like, I don't give a fuck what you do. That's just how it is, man. That's just how they are. She doesn't care about you. Listen, she's nice and reliable. You wanna be in a good stable relationship with Zian, then she can totally take care of you. But if you can't handle it, she will go on without you. You know, she's an independent lady. She's got plenty of opportunities out there. Very very stable emotionally. The 10-year is she doesn't need you. Gonna get these numbers coming out, the 3-bill auctions. The 3-month and 6-month bill auctions. Adam Schiff and the long list of people who should be pardoned, Edward Snowden would not be on my list. The 30-year, it's up there. It's the 30-year past where it was like down and all that. Barely. Barely. I'm going to name today's video. Okay, here's the 6-month bill coming out at 0. It's about 1.2. And the 3-month is the same as the last time at 0.105. So I guess that's why it was. Okay. We still did good in the E-mini, so I'm liking that. I named today's video why you should be on vacation instead of trading this week. So okay, guys. Well, that was it. I guess that's where the treasuries had moved down too much and needed to come back because the interest rate hadn't changed. I wish I had considered that in my analysis, but I always should think about that in the future. Okay. Well, trading is my vacation. Ugh, that's an awful vacation, PRT. Dude. I know. You're gonna die early if that's your idea of a vacation, man. Do something relaxing. You know what? They opened up the park just next to our house, and it is very nice. And I'm going to be spending a lot of time over there. All right, so that's it for me today. It wasn't too bad. I mean, I obviously am really frustrated by the treasuries, but we're still doing really good in the E-mini and 2 for 2 there. It's really great. And those ones, I don't think. Let's pull up our results over here. Yeah, so here's our 2 E-mini trades. Look, neither of those Those went like 1, 2 ticks against me. Hey, this is pretty good, right? Pretty nice. Stay profitable, friends.